Okay, now the structure of WH question. There are two structures basically. Number one, with auxiliary verb, and the structure will be, first of all we will write WH word, then auxiliary verb, after that a subject, and then main verb. For example, what do you want? When did he come? Where are you going? Who is he? Now let's check it. The first word is WH, that means what. Then do is an auxiliary verb. You, subject. Want, the main verb. Again, when, did, auxiliary verb. He, subject. Come, main verb. Right? The second structure is without auxiliary verb. The structure is WH word plus main verb plus complement. Complement actually can be a word or a phrase or a clause. Okay? For example, who works in this office? Who paid for the burger? What makes him happy? What helps us to understand the different food groups? Now, the first word is WH, who, then the main verb, works. You can see here there is no auxiliary verb. So the main verb is after the WH word. Who works in this office? Who paid for the burger? Again, there is no auxiliary verb. What makes him happy? What helps us to understand the different food groups? I guess you have understood the two structures of WH questions. Sometimes we have to use both of the structures. Okay? Now, some important WH words and their functions. The first one is what ... for. So the function is, it is used for asking a reason. Okay? And you can also ask that sentence with why. Like, what is Dhaka famous for? What is Dhaka famous? If you write what is Dhaka famous, then this is absurd. There is no meaning at all. What is Dhaka famous? But if you write what is Dhaka famous for, then the meaning is complete. And again, you can write this sentence with why. Why is Dhaka famous? Then you don't need to write for. So we can understand what ... for, we can use it replacing why. Okay? What is Dhaka famous for? Now, whom ... with, or if you write with at the first place, then you don't need to write whom at the last. You will write with whom. And this is used for asking a person, and obviously that will be for an object. Like, whom did you go with? If you say whom did you go, then the answer, again, the sentence is not complete, or the sentence is not meaningful. So you have to write whom did you go with, or with whom did you go. Now you can answer I went with my father, or I went with my mother, etc. You can see here all the questions are starting with how, but after that there is an extra word like much, many, far, old, long, often. These type of questions are used for some other functions. So let's see for what. How much is used for asking for a quantity, and that quantity must be uncountable, and uncountable means which we cannot count. Okay? For example, how much time is left? How much time is left? You often use this sentence in your exam hall. Sir, how much time is left? Okay? Now, we cannot count time. You can be confused, like we obviously can count time. No. We count seconds, we count minutes, we count hours. Okay? But we cannot say how how many time is left. We have to use how much time is left, right? The next one is how many, and it is used for asking an amount, and that should be countable. For example, how many students are present? Here we are using many because we can count students. If you want to use much, how much students are present, that will be incorrect because we can obviously count students. Next one, that is how far. How far is used asking for distance, like how far is your home from school. Now if you want to write how is your home from school, if you don't use far, then the sentence won't be meaningful. Like how is your home from school, that is not creating a meaning. So we have to use how far is your home from school. Alright, next one is how old, and this is very common in our daily conversation. We often use this, and this is used for asking someone's age, like how old are you, how old are you, how old is she, etc, etc. Next one is how long. This refers to asking for time or space, like how long will you wait. It is used for asking time. The answer can be I will wait for another 5 minutes. Okay, how long will you wait? The next one is how long is Cox's Bazar. How long is Cox's Bazar? This is used for space. The last one is how often, and it refers to asking for regularity or frequency. For instance, how often do you visit India? So it is asking for a regularity, that how often do you visit India? And the answer might be I visit India once a year, or I visit India twice a year. Alright? So these were the important WH words and their functions. I believe you have understood, and this will be used in this type of questions. So let's have a look. Number A, the library is 5 minutes from here. So the underlined part is 5 minutes from here is not asking a time, rather it is giving a distance. So we have to question it with how. How far is the library? Okay? Number B, he goes there most of the time. He goes there most of the time. Like I said, most of the time here is offering you a regularity or a frequency. So the question will be how often does he go there? How often does he go there? Right? Number C, he slept for an hour. He slept for an hour. Here, the underlined part for an hour is referring a time, and that's why you have to ask this with how long. How long did he sleep? How long did he sleep? Number D, Dhaka is famous for traffic jam. Dhaka is famous for traffic jam. So the question will be, what is Dhaka famous for? Why? We cannot use why because for is not underlined. So we have to question it with what. What is Dhaka famous for? Number E, Saint Martin Island is 405 km from Dhaka. Now the distance is underlined. Now we have to question it with how far. How far is Saint Martin? Now here I have forgotten to write island. We have to write how far is Saint Martin Island from Dhaka. Alright? the next one is he is 10 years old. This is very easy. How old is he? Now look at number G. The Olympics are held every 4 years. The Olympics are held every 4 years. Now the question will be, how often are the Olympics held? How often are the Olympics held? Alright? So these were the WH questions and their functions and some examples. I hope I was clear enough to make you understand. Thank you everyone. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself.